that it?
All right, that's it. That's it. Show's over. Everybody go home.
Okay.
No, that was the intro. That was the walk-in music to your very own show.
Okay.
Well, welcome, Cynthia. Welcome.
Very happy to be here. Thank you.
I want to do a special thank you because this came about when one of your banjo students in Ellicott City, Maryland, wrote an email to me and said, "Hey, I know this woman. Actually, I'm taking banjo lessons from her. I think she'd be great for one of your shows." And I said, "I'll check it out." And obviously, I agreed.
Thank you very much.
And I honestly
That's a shout out to Mark Henson.
There you go. And I honestly didn't know much about the world of plectrum banjo. I think of it as a Dixieland, the Dukes of Dixieland and many, many years ago, and hadn't thought much about it. And I was like, wow. And go ahead.
As you probably already know, there's actually two kinds of four-string banjos. One is the tenor banjo, and one's the plectrum. And the tenor is more popularly associated with the early jazz bands, although there was both plectrum and tenor. And plectrum is more associated with sort of, I don't know, like vaudeville-y kind of stuff and showbiz stuff. But there was also, they both did the same. I mean, tenor players did all kinds of theatrical things, and plectrum did all kinds of jazz things as well. But that's their kind of general idea of them.
And before we really confuse our viewers, there's the short scale tenor banjos in Celtic music.
Yes, and then there's all kinds of banjo. Well, I guess the basic thing is that there is a banjo family, which people sometimes don't realize. They're 6 foot tall bass banjos. There's cello banjos, which when you play them, you look like you're Alice in Wonderland, There's little piccolo banjos, lead banjos, and then there's all the hybrids, ukulele banjo, mandolin banjo. There's a whole banjo crazy world out there. And of course, at one time, historically, and the two turns of the century ago, it was like incredibly hip and cool if you got into the banjo orchestra at your university. That was like rock star stuff.
All right. Okay. Well, speaking of rock stars, if you look at the crawler below us, it's not crawling at the moment, but it has your information. Oh, David Geyer says that you're the best.
I see that message. Thank you so much, David.
So, and then the Venmo. So please, folks, these are the gigs of the rock star tenor banjo players these days. The gig that you're watching right now, because we're all paying good attention to the COVID-19 and the problems it's created. So.
We're being very careful. Yeah. I'd also, just for your listeners, just to clarify, in case, I don't know if we sort of skipped over this, there's a big category of 5-string banjo and 4-string banjo.
Right.
And 5-string banjo, what's that?
We'll skip over it.
We'll skip over it.
We got to get some music.
Okay. Because I don't know how to play 5-string banjo, and they often don't know how to play this. So that's all, even though they're all called banjos.
Stay with the show tonight, and we'll give you a lesson.
Okay, you'll know more than you ever wanted to know about banjos.
All right, so hit us with something. What do you got?
Okay. Hopefully something to cheer up the moment. A long time ago, a second lieutenant named Spears returned to the States after being away for 3 years. His wife said, "Welcome home, dear, and since you've been gone, you see, we've been blessed with a little baby, and a cute little thing is he." She took the baby in her arms and said, "Benny is his name." He said, "I've been gone for 3 years, darling, won't you please explain? So I don't feel so dumb, tell me, where did little Benny come from?" Well, and every time He asked, she said, Benny's from heaven. His face got red, but she repeatedly said, Benny's from heaven. He said, I've asked the neighbors who's come around. Nobody seems to remember Benny coming down. He said, for a little thing like this, I ordinarily wouldn't bother. But, darling, what I know about children is they gotta have a father. And when I look at Benny, I can plainly see that Benny's gotta be from heaven, 'cause he sure ain't from me. For a little thing like this, I ordinarily wouldn't bother. But, darling, what I know about children is they gotta have a father. And when I look at Benny, I can plainly see that Benny's gotta be from heaven, 'cause he sure ain't from me.
Well, I'm glad I wasn't on camera when you hit that line, Benny's from heaven, because I threw my head back and my headphones flew off. It had that effect. So yes, and I know that there's a latency effect on my voice for those of you out there and think that I'm trying to imitate Darth Vader. But it's what we have tonight, so bear with it, folks. You'll notice it goes away when I'm not speaking. So who wrote that song?
Well, Penny, you know that's a spoof,
yes, I do.
of course,
Yes.
of Pennies from Heaven. And I don't know where the lyrics come from. And if one of you know, please tell me. I learned this because I saw a colleague play it in concert, and I went up and I was like, please tell me those words. And he sent them to me. And I tried looking it up, and I did not find it, and I'm sure they're online somewhere, and I missed it. And I'm very sorry. If you are the lyricist, you deserve your credit. Of course, the standard Pennies from Heaven is, an old 1936 tune that everybody knows. But I just thought it was cute, and I think it's fun.
Well, I want to do a shout out to BJ Dilworth, who's your manager. Because
BG, yes.
BG,
Think Benny Goodman.
Sorry. Yeah, think Benny Goodman. All right, yeah. Sorry. So
right.
Shout out, because he nicely sent me a little, what we call a one sheet in the industry, where it prompts me to say a few things like, so Cynthia, I understand that you have a new program called, a teaching program called You're in the Band.
Yes.
Please explain.
Honestly, it's not. I've had it out for a few years now, but I feel like it has. It's a play along. It's not just for banjos. It's for any instrument where any player who enjoys playing a swing style music, and it's music, it's chord charts in different keys for different instruments, and it's a quartet which consists of some very superb hot swing, hot jazz players, and including myself. And you can also remove us if you wish. And you can play and feel like you're in the band. So if you're home alone and you're a musician during this pandemic, whether you're a hobbyist or a professional, if you want to jam with others, here's an opportunity. And there's a free link. You can check it out on my website. So you don't need to lay out anything to see if it's for you.
I have a late breaking news story for you.
Mm-hmm.
Benny's from Heaven was written by Eddie Jefferson in
Thank you.
1977.
In 77, interesting. Thank you very much for that.
That was our back engineer, Rob Hinkle, just going one beyond the usual.
Thank you.
Right.
I will always properly credit that from now on. Thank you very much.
All right. So what's next on the hit parade here?
Well, I thought I would do a tune from my most recent album. Honestly, that's what playing music is. That pretty much, in one word, describes what it feels like to get to play. I have a wonderful band called the Jaworek Band, and that's also the name of the album. And this is a piece, it's called I Get Ideas, but if any of you are familiar with classic tangos, it comes from Adios Muchachos, 1927 classic tango from Argentina. But I learned it by listening to the great Louis Armstrong's recording and gave me chills, decided I had to learn it for myself. When we are dancing and you're dangerously near me, I get ideas, ooh, I get ideas. I wanna hold you so much closer than I dare to. I wanna scold you 'cause I care more than I care to. And when you touch me, there's a fire in every finger. I get ideas, oh, I get ideas. And after we have said goodnight, but still you linger, I kind of think that you get ideas too. Your eyes are always saying the things you'll never say. I only hope they're saying that you could love me too, 'cause that's the whole idea. It's a lovely idea that I could fall in love with you.
Wow. Was that early enough in Armstrong's career when he was with, what was it, the Kansas City Hot Five, or he
No,
started
this was
off in
later.
a small group?
This was later. Louis, actually, the first person to record it was Tony Martin, and Louis Armstrong recorded it in 1951, which I think is around when the lyrics were added, and it became a jazz standard around that time. I'm looking at the name of, I should say, the composer of Adios Muchachos, an Argentinian named Julio Sanders. So
Okay.
he's the guy that it all came from. But that Louis Armstrong recording, if you haven't heard it, I so recommend it. It's a beautiful, beautiful track.
When you mentioned the Joyride Band, I looked at a couple video clips when I was first introduced to the concept of you and having you on the show here. And there was one band that I watched that was all women.
Yeah, that's a different group that I have.
Right.
Yes.
And then there was another band I watched that had Charlie Giordano in it.
Oh yeah,
whom
well
I
Charlie's in
recognized-
Charlie's in my Joyride band when he's not working with the boss.
I as soon as I saw that, I was like, wow, because I've been wondering for years about Charlie Giordano. You know, like, well, what else does he do all day? You know, and
Charlie, my regular drummer is Larry Eagle, who your listeners also may recognize that he was the drummer with Bruce Springsteen's Seeger Sessions band.
yes, yeah, the really
And-
acoustic stuff. Yeah,
Yeah, and Larry is also part of the Andy Statman trio. And well, anyway, Larry introduced me to Charlie. I was playing a gig somewhere, and he said, "You got to meet this guy." And I'm like, "Okay, you know." And I wasn't aware of his association with Bruce Springsteen. All I knew is that he picked up the accordion, and I nearly had a heart attack.
Yeah,
I just thought
yeah.
he was like, oh my God. And I immediately asked him if he would do a record with me. And my Joyride album actually features Charlie. And I just think I mean, all of these guys are amazing. I don't want to prioritize because they're all amazing. It was just that he was a new opening for me. And he's toured with my group to China, and we've done a bunch of concerts together. And he's
Wonderful.
Everybody's a wonderful people. Charlie's a doll,
Yeah.
and he's worked with all kinds of people. Yeah.
amazing stuff. Again, folks, please share. And when we say share, it means you go into the PayPal or the Venmo and shoot some money Cynthia's way, because you never know. The banjo she's playing, you know, she might need a couple more. But now that's an ohm.
I have
That's
to
an
pay for
ohm.
my wedding.
That's right. That's an ohm banjo, right? OME.
Yes, this is an ohm banjo, and I actually endorse for ohms. I think they're beautiful instruments. This one's I guess about 25 years old now, 30.
Yeah.
Time flies. I'm not sure, something like that. And this one, I don't think you can tell from out there, but there's black engraved chrome on it, which I think is pretty gorgeous.
Pretty snazzy.
Yeah, and this was made, my arm piece, I don't know if you can, there you go.
Yeah.
My flashy little arm piece there was made by a wonderful luthier in Germany, Norbert Peach. And he makes amazing banjos, so I asked him if he'd make me a cool armrest, and he did indeed.
That's
So,
great. It's inlaid too. Yeah, it's amazing. All right. Let's see. What else we got?
Well, I thought I would do a tune that which was a regular feature for the banjo player of the Paul Whiteman Orchestra, and who was Mike Pingatore. And Mike Pingatore actually came from sort of a pre-jazz time, and he was with the Paul Whiteman Orchestra throughout his career for many years. And this tune is called Linger a While. It's from 1923, and it's just a popular hot jazz banjo feature, so in tribute to Mike Pingatore. I also want to mention, before I do this, which is a diversion, I love my hero jazz banjo player is a man named Elmer Snowden. So if you don't know that, look up his Harlem Banjo album. But here, Mike Pingatore is another one of the awesome historic four-string jazz banjo players of the past. Here it is, Linger a While.
definitely an up-tempo piece. So we're going to come back to you for an encore piece later.
Okay, thank you very
So
much.
please stick around.
I'm looking forward to hearing the others.
Yeah, and we'll give you a little taste of 5-string banjo at some point, so
Cool.
that we accept all banjos here.
We're an equal banjo opportunities place.
Exactly.
Yes.
All right. Well, thank you very much, and
you,
we'll
Dave.
see you in a bit. Thank you.
Okay.
All right. Up with Hubby Jenkins. There he is. Hey.
Hey,
So let's start by saying first, of course, welcome, and
Thank you.
see
Thanks
all
for
the
having me.
all the Venmo stuff at the bottom so people can send money. And I guess part of the reason that you're here tonight is because the show's on a Friday, not a Tuesday, because I think you run a Tuesday show.
yeah, one of my obsessions in life or things that I like is choose your own adventure books. That's something people know about me. So when the shutdowns first started, my partner came up with the idea of like reading choose your own adventure books and playing music, which I started doing at live shows where I would read part of a book, the crowd would make a decision, and then we'd play a song. So that turned into kind of my quarantine comfort blanket. Every Tuesday, I just read a choose your own adventure, and then when it's done, I drink whiskey and play music until I can't anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's interesting because did you notice that Rob flashed on the screen for a moment? For a couple months, I think Rob, you could explain to the public. You were reading kids' books, kids' stories.
Yeah, for 50 weeks in a row, I read
50.
children's books at 6 p.m. sharp. But there was no choose. I was laying down the law. We were not choosing any adventures. We were going on, a course. But I ran out of patience before I ran out of books. But now I'm so curious about this thing. I've got to tune into you.
Well, then you have
Sorry,
stuff
Dave.
like-
I'm not showing up for the Tuesday shows. I'm going to watch Hubby.
Yeah, right.
This week we're reading Comet Crash, which was
Okay.
written in the 90s, and you'll get to
So
a page.
legit choose your own adventure books.
So like here it says in the bottom, do you run back down the trail or do you remain motionless and watch the cougar out of the corner of your eye? So then the crowd would make the decision, and then we decide where we go that way. But yeah, it's just been something that I've been into for a really long time. And also, like, it's something I started doing at live shows where,
Sure.
I talk a lot about Black history and old-time music, and mixing in the choose your own adventure kept a lot of audiences kind of civil and disarmed with certain ideas were put
That's
to
a good
them.
way to put it. Yeah. All right. So on to some music. Now, you originally threatened me with playing violin, but in the sound check, you did banjo and guitar.
Yeah, the violin, that's my
What happened?
quarantine instrument. I picked it up, and I've been wanting to play the violin forever and a day, and I thought, well, this is the longest I've been home in almost a decade, or more than a decade. I'm going to learn the violin, but it's not ready yet.
We're not there. Okay.
How about for the next show, you call me back to,
Next.
it'll be all violin.
Well, not about all violin, but yeah. All right. So what are you gonna lead on with? What are you gonna bring us?
I mean, after all that banjo, the only thing you can do is more banjo. So I'll do this, and I spent some time. I'm from New York City, and John Cohen of the New Lost City Ramblers was someone I got to spend time with. And long ago, he gave me like an invisible contract, and he said, "Hubby, it's your responsibility. I dub it to you every show to remind people that the banjo is a black instrument. It is a slave instrument. The creation of American music happens on this banjo. The creation of American music happens on plantations. So I have to say at every show that the banjo is a black instrument. It is a slave instrument. The creation of American music happens on this instrument. It's created on plantations." So with that out the way, I'll play a little bit of a medley. I'll start with a song that comes from Joe Thompson, a North Carolinian fiddle player that inspired the Carolina Chocolate Drops to form. And we'll end it with a song called Texas Traveler, which comes from an album called Altamont, which was recorded by an ethnomusicologist named Jaworek III at Fisk University in the 30s. He was capturing non-religious string band black music. So we'll throw those two together. private party. Oh, I get up early in the morning. Oh, I get up early in the morning. I have to go before sun's gone. Where you going, Texas traveler? Where you going, Texas traveler? Where you going, Texas traveler? I'm going back to see Miss Anna. Down the road, what do I see? Police and sheriff, they're coming after me. Where you going, Texas traveler? I'm going back to Louisiana. Going down, had my hand. Going down, had my hand. Tell the sheriff I killed my man. Where you going, Texas? Where you going, Texas traveler? Where you going, Texas traveler? I'm going back to Louisiana.
Whew. My fingers are tired just looking at your fingers.
You know, it's
That's a
funny.
cool-
I was
Go
just
ahead.
watching Cynthia, and I was just like, I played in like a hot jazz band for a hot minute, and I was just like, I can't do this. This is too
Yeah.
much work for me. It's like the claw hammer is deceptively vigorous. Look.
At the end of a lot of those phrases, you had like a double, it's like a sweep up and down, which that seemed a little unusual from all the banjos I've watching. So
I think that's one of the things I picked up from like learning Joe Thompson's tunes and like playing in the Chocolate Drops is that kind of like the kind of anticipatory, that like jump in.
yeah,
So I
Yeah,
just,
that's- it's
that's
a
an
neat-
influence in
it's
me for
nice.
sure.
I mean, it's now, and you did mention the chocolate drops, and I forgot to ask you. So should I mention the chocolate drops? I guess I should.
Yeah, I mean, I was there, I did it, and yeah, of course, yeah.
Are there still the chocolate drops as a band, or
No, that band is done, but you know, joining an all-black string band, arguably, one of the most successful all-black string bands.
Oh,
ever,
absolutely,
it's, just an honor, and was just such a blessing, and did all kinds of cool crap and played
yeah.
lots of good music. So, yeah, but the time ran out, as bands do. Yada yada.
sure?
Yada.
Now, I had the pleasure of hanging out with Martin Bogan and Armstrong in the Augusta Heritage Days in Elkins, West Virginia, and they would come down there and teach, and then of course they'd play in the festivals. And man,
I wish I could have been around for that. I think I'm old, but I realize I'm not as old as I
I
think
ain't
I
not
am.
that old. No. But I mean, the Carolina Chocolate Drops were the link to that period of music. There was nobody else that I mean, there probably were, but nobody that I know. I mean,
I think so. Like a link to the music, a link to the tradition, and a link
Yeah.
to the history. When I first started playing old time music and playing banjo, people would look at me like I was a
Right.
crazy person. Like,
Yeah.
why are you playing bluegrass? You're a black guy. Also,
Right.
you're from Brooklyn, but that's a whole other conversation. but just having Carolina Chocolate Drops, you know, and things like the Black Banjo Gathering, and you know, now it's coming up that, like, you know, yeah, we're reinserting ourselves to the narrative of the American musical history, and the banjo being such an important, critical part of that.
When you said Brooklyn, it made me think of Bruce Molsky playing banjo. He's a Jewish guy from Brooklyn, you know, so what's he doing playing that music? You know, and yet he's one of the major proponents, and I think he's on the faculty at Berkeley. You know, why
the New
not?
York folk scene was a big influence for me and my friends when we first started. You know, because we weren't Southerners in that way, and I didn't know that festivals existed or fiddle competitions existed until I was in my early 20s. So it's kind of, that's our connection. I think that's where Molsky probably got in on it too. Is this, you know, this music also has this weight of being trans borders and trans time, and also just politically important in so many ways that it can be relevant to all kinds of people, etc.
I mean, to me, and I think I have it right, there's an openness now to accepting all kinds into all music, and people opening up literally and speaking about it, and not saying, well, you can't play that, you're not the right kind. I mean, we're not seeing that anymore, and that's a great thing.
I think so.
You know.
I mean, I don't know how much we really saw it. You know, I actually had this debate with a musician friend who thought that hip hop was like a form of stealing music, like people sampling music. Was
sampling,
But also just thinking that, you know, there's a narrative history of this country of white people stealing black music for a long time, and so anyone can play this music. Yes, this is all American music, but you know, a consciousness of that history, I think, is important, you know, along with like talent, but like I think the integrity of the talent, you know, there are so many musicians from everywhere of all walks in life that play and perform the old time music and all kinds of music with that integrity and thoughtfulness, and it makes the music better, I think.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Make some more music better. Give us something.
That's the only song I know. So is it okay if I just play it again, or
or backwards? Yeah.
I'll play something on the guitar.
Cool.
I'll play this song. This comes from the playing of Mississippi Fred McDowell, who's one of my favorite guitar players, blues guitar player. And this is a song called "When the Train Comes Along." And I'm a big fan of gospel music and all that kind of stuff. And this song doesn't mention Christianity or Jesus in any way, but it's in this tradition of you know, getting cross over Jordan or going to the other side, or I'm going to be with my family one day when I could get there, which you could imagine being very relevant to the black experience in America, since the black experience in America. And also brings, you know, we can talk about the Great Migration, the largest migration of people moving within the country, 6 million black people leaving the South, escaping Jim Crow, emigrating to places in the West and the North and in the Midwest for work and creating urban centers, yada, yada, yada. So, when the train comes along, if you see my mother and she asks for me, Lord, gonna meet her at the station when the train come along. When the train come along, Lord, when the train come along. When the train come along, Lord, gonna meet her at the station when the train come along. If you see my sister and she asks for, gonna meet her at the, when the train come along. When the train come along, Lord. When the train come along, Lord, gonna meet her at the station when the train come along. If you see my brother and he asks for, gonna meet him at the station when the train come along. When the train come along, long, 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 long. When the train come along, long.
Yeah,
Train comes along.
Mississippi Fred McDowell.
Yeah, man.
It's I remember in college picking up an album he had out, and there's a quote on there where he says something like, "The only way you can rock Fred is to put him in a rocking chair," because he wanted people to let him know that he wasn't going to play rock and roll.
Right, and he put out the whole record. I do not play no rock and roll.
That's it. That's the album. It's a great quote. So
yeah.
I
got into him. I bought a CD. I was getting into blues music, and I'd heard him on a compilation, and I thought, my grandma's going to like this. So I bought one of the CDs that, like, R. Crumb did the cover for. I was like, I'm going to give this to my grandma, but I should listen to it to make sure it's good. And I still have the CD today. I just never left my CD player.
Yeah, no, it's, I mean, again, when I was in college, I was probably 1967.
Okay.
And it was hard to find these records. We found them, we searched them out, and sometimes they didn't exist as records. They were now cassettes, and the cassette quality was not very good, but we didn't care. We just wanted to listen to it. And so that's fabulous. I mean, that took me back a few years, just right to that period.
Awesome.
And people would always say, "Oh, is he like John Hurt?" No, he really wasn't like John Hurt. The Mississippi tag was about the only thing really you could say they had in common. Yeah. Very different style. So.
Yeah, and it's one of those things when you get into it. It's like, all these guys from Mississippi. Muddy. I'm blanking. Skip James. All these people. They just are so distinctive. Even though some of them came through Dockery Farms too. But it's, once you get in there, it's so many different facets and types of blues, and we could talk all day just about that. So.
Yeah, and then people would be turning off and going somewhere else. So, all right, another song. Quick, more music. What else we got coming up? What do you got?
Should I play?
Yeah.
I can play something else. Let's see. How about we'll do some boning. That was a real bonehead thing to say.
I get it.
I'm hoisting myself up by my bone petard. Leave these jokes
alone. This is a shout out to, of course, Rowan. I'm pretty sure that Rowan might be the connection between the two of us. I think he brought you into the store one day.
Yeah, 100%. And then I think every time, actually, these are from that store.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, these have been, for sure. Me and Rowan toured around for a bit in Carolina Chocolate Drops. And yeah, whenever we were in the area, that's where we went. And I think he hooked this whole thing up, and yeah. And Rowan being one of the best people that either of us know in the whole world.
That's a very true statement.
So, yeah, I guess, this boner's for Rowan.
All right.
And we'll do, we didn't sound check these, so they'll probably be a little bit too loud, but I'll do a song here that we can kind of do like a sing-along. So this is going to come from the Georgia Sea Islands, where they do a type of singing called ring shouts, where religious singing and people clap in a certain rhythm and stomp on the floor. There's a stick man that's pounding a stick, and they dance in this counterclockwise circle and sing these call and response songs. Some people believe this is what a lot of early churches in the black community might have sounded like. So while you're at home, you can sing along. And I'm going to sing a song, I'm going to sing a line, and I'll say, Adam in the garden, and you'll say, pinning leaves. Then I'll say, Adam in the garden, you'll say, pinning leaves. Adam in the garden, pinning leaves. Adam in the garden, pinning leaves. Got it? Good. Here we go. Adam in the garden, pinning leaves. 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 God called Adam, pinning leaves. God called Adam, pinning leaves. God called Adam. God called Adam, pinning leaves. Adam wouldn't answer. Adam wouldn't answer, pinning leaves. Adam wouldn't answer, pinning leaves. Adam wouldn't answer, pinning leaves. God called Adam, pinning leaves. pinning leaves. God called Adam, pinning leaves. God called Adam, pinning leaves. Adam, pinning leaves. We're all found, pinning leaves. Adam, pinning leaves. We're all found, pinning leaves. God, I'm ashamed, pinning leaves. God, I'm ashamed, pinning leaves. God, I'm ashamed. God, I'm ashamed, pinning leaves. Adam in the garden. Adam in the garden, pinning leaves. Adam in the garden, pinning leaves. Adam in the garden, pinning leaves. Adam in the garden. Adam in the garden, pinning leaves. Adam in the garden, pinning leaves. Adam in the garden, pinning leaves. Adam, pinning leaves. We're all found, pinning leaves. Adam, pinning leaves. We're all found. God, I'm ashamed, pinning leaves. God, I'm ashamed, pinning leaves. God, I'm ashamed, pinning leaves. God, I'm ashamed. Adam in the garden. Adam in the garden, pinning leaves. Adam in the garden. Adam in the garden, pinning leaves.
Ooh. Pinning leaves.
It's the story, after they eat from the apple.
Yeah.
And they realize that they're naked.
He's
God
gotta
comes to the garden, he's fighting them, and Adam's hiding himself, pinning leaves to
So
himself.
it's early piercings.
That's the way.
It's pinning. All right. I always wondered where piercing started from. All right. So, this was wonderful.
Thank you very much.
We're going to stick around because we're going to come back around one time for an encore piece. And we're going to move now to Patty Reese. All right.
Hey.
Thank you, hubby.
Hey,
Hello,
hubby.
Patty.
Bravo. Hey, Dave.
How's it going?
Doing good. How are you?
It's good to see you. You're so out of all three people tonight, you and I go the farthest back as far as knowing each other.
True.
So I'm woefully unprepared because I have so many things that I unearthed the studio cut you did at Wowdy where you and Ruthie came in and played in the studio back in the pre-COVID days.
Oh, yeah. Oh, for the radio show.
Yeah, for WOWDLP,
That's right.
TacomaRadio.org.
To promote our label Christmas special. Our
Yeah,
holiday
that's right.
Concert. Yes.
Right. Yeah. Huh. And I understand actually, this is useless information to most of the world, but you don't live far from where I live. I live in Hillendale and you live further up New Hampshire Avenue.
Yeah, I do. And I grew up in Hillendale. I went to Hillendale Elementary School.
Uh-huh.
Back there behind it's not Hillendale Elementary School anymore.
So we're talking about the state of Maryland for those of you that are listening from
they're like,
New Jersey or
"Why do you know
wherever.
about this?"
Huh. Okay, so let's see. You have a relatively new album out, as I recall.
Yeah, I'm going to play a couple cuts off my most recent release called Let in the Sun, and do something off of Strong Medicine, and then later on we'll revisit something else.
All right. Start us off.
Start us off? Okay. One hubby, they were both, Cynthia, just wonderful. I really enjoyed that.
Hey, Patty, remember your tuner there.
Huh? Am I muted? There we go. Thanks, Rob. So these are a couple songs that I wrote. So your love is like a locomotive running down my track. Your love is like a holiday from which I won't be back. Your love is the surrender after the 30th day. Oh, your love is what keeps me coming back here for more. Your love's like holy water for my tired, thirsty soul. Your love is like the Mardi Gras, and you're my King Creole. Your love is like a suitcase of love letters from the past, and I can't help think that this love is gonna last. Your love. Ooh, your love. Your love is like a rock on which I could build my home. Your love is like a feather bed from which I'll never roam. Your love is like a hammer coming down hard on hay, like smooth country gravy flowing over my plate. Your love is in the honor of a good man's handshake. Your love is solid trust and everything is at stake. Your love is in the icing of a 5-tier wedding cake. Sweet, smooth, and creamy, you're my favorite mistake. Your love. Your love is like a thoroughbred running on the inside track. Your love is king and queens and high stakes blackjack. Your love is like a fire, cozy woman on a night, like a satisfied lover when she's had a horse to lie. Your love is like the tide, it might be gone, but it'll be back. I love you, loving charge, you'll be the leader of my pack. Your love is in the quiet before the pistol cracks a race. It makes me feel like a winner. Please don't make me wait for your love. Ooh, your love. Yes, sir, your love, yeah. Ooh, your love. Ain't nothing like it. I can't get by it. So glad I tried it. I can't deny it. Never gonna deny it. Can't get by it. Your love. Your love.
All right.
Love.
That's got some definitions in it.
Some
Your love.
definitions.
Definitions, yeah. How long did it take you to write that song?
Oh gosh, I don't remember. It wasn't a day.
No,
Tell you
no.
that much. That wasn't a day, but it was fun to write. Put it that way.
Yeah, I mean, it's got literally so many definitions of what love is like or love is. Where,
Good love,
yeah, well, yeah, there's that.
fun love.
Yeah, yeah,
I also have other love songs called like "You Bought a Shotgun."
yeah, that's true. So before we move on, I want to call everybody's attention to the crawler at the bottom, so that if you like what you're hearing, and I know you do, send Patty a little bit of change or
Send a
greens.
little shout out to my friend Carrie.
Yeah.
Carrie, haven't seen you in forever either.
Send some love to Patty.
Such as COVID.
Yeah. So let's see. Where can one get that album? On your website?
Anywhere. You can get it at Amazon, iTunes.
Oh, okay,
anywhere
good,
Where
good.
there's music. Anywhere. Just Patty Reese and Let in the Sun is the name of the album, and you can download, individual songs, of course, if you want.
Any Dave Chappell on that one?
Actually, Jonathan Sloan played on that album. Dave played on the title cut, Open a Window, Let in the Sun. And Jonathan Sloan, he was playing with...
You know what? I think I may have meant Jonathan Sloan, not Steve Sloan, when we were talking earlier.
Oh, yeah, Jonathan's phenomenal.
Yeah, he's got that. That's the album that someone gave me recently.
All right, that's why I'm like...
I wondered why you
Sloan.
would... And I kept saying, well, I think you played with him. And you're like, no, I don't know Steve Sloan. So...
And I don't.
right.
I mean, I forget a lot of things, okay? I will say that. So, yeah. Yeah, he plays with Anders Osborne now.
Yeah. I remember hearing you in one of the, what were they called? The band house gigs where they were doing Janis Joplin.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man. I've got that on DVD, I believe.
Oh, yeah.
Where you... And anybody, in case you're wondering if Janis Joplin were around today, what she'd sound like, go listen to Patty. I mean, it was chilling. I remember, I was at the show live, and then it was chilling.
I love singing her material, and I love, bringing her to the stage as much as possible.
Yeah.
But I sure wouldn't want to do it every night.
No. I mean, she led a very strange life at times, very strange life. So, yeah. But boy, she left us with some great music, man.
Yeah, she went 100%.
Oof. All right, what we got? What's next?
All right, this is another song off of Let in the Sun, and not a sunny song, but called "Is It Too Late for Me?" so, so long. Is it too late for me? I've been on this road so long. I lost my way searching for a happy home. Rolling and tumbling with a black-haired devil all night long. That fallen angel sang me the sweetest song. Now that sweet refrain's running through my veins, black in my soul and made a prisoner of my brain. Yeah. If it's not too late for me, save me from these killing chains. Oh, somebody save me. Somebody save me. Oh, I'm going down. Save me. Is it too late for me? Something's gotta change. Is it too late for me? Save me from this devil campaign. Angel of mercy, save my soul tonight. All the wrong I've done, I pray we make it right, yeah. If it's not too late for me, save me from the sinner's life. Oh.
All right. All right.
There you go, Dave.
You know, I forget that I have to come back and do a little chat every now and then because I get into listening to the song and I'm like, oh yeah, what am I going to talk about? Oh yeah, which is a good effect. It's the right way it should happen. There is a project called the Acoustic Guitar Project, and I think that you're involved in that, as I recall.
Yep. You get the acoustic guitar. There's 5 artists that are picked from whatever cities are involved. And right now it's the DC area. And we each get the guitar for 1 week exactly.
Right.
And we need to write one song during that week, nothing that we worked on before or had previously written or started or whatever. And write it on that guitar just with very, just recorded acoustically live. And basically the idea is just to get people back in touch with just the essentials of songwriting. And for me, it's like, well, that's how I write anyway. So
Well,
okay.
what's interesting is we have 2 of the 5 people here tonight.
Yes, Rob.
Rob could pop
Rob.
on the screen because he's going to come to your house, and
my
pick up a
goodness,
guitar.
Yeah, exactly. And I've only, I had the worst week in the world. Thanksgiving week. Oh my gosh, what was I thinking? What a moron.
I'm
Yeah.
so sorry. Like I said, if we need to finagle that a little bit, we can figure it out.
No, I worked on it all day today, and I just need to tighten it up a bit with some lyrics.
Any old lyrics.
Second verse, and
Yeah.
I think I got it. And
Turkey stuffing blues. Yeah.
I know you're supposed to
I'll work
clean
on
that.
it tomorrow. And
I
then,
know you're supposed to clean that guitar real good before it comes to me, but you leave
Yeah.
at least some sort of creative juices on it somewhere because,
oh yes,
you know, I'm going to need
that's
those.
for sure. And I'll leave the signature. We're all supposed to sign it too, so it's all full of signatures. And who Arch Alcantara had it last week.
Oh, okay.
Jeez.
Who's this acoustic guitar project? How long's it been going on? Or is
You know,
it?
I really don't know a whole lot about it, but I did look at briefly at the website today, and it is called the Acoustic Guitar Project. So you can just do a search
Yeah.
online for the Acoustic Guitar Project. It's a international thing,
Huh.
and and we'll be doing a concert there. Rob just stuck it up in the window. We'll be doing a concert too online, so take a look out for that. Of all 5 of us that'll be playing our songs and telling the stories behind it. Mine, I was crying almost all day because I kind of went someplace I didn't expect to go. You know, sometimes you start a song and then the song tells you how it's going to go, you know.
Yeah.
So
All
I
right.
gotta stop writing the song and clean up. I got a show with IMT tonight.
That's right. All right. So you have one more.
Yeah, this is a crying song. I
Yeah.
already have a friend of mine who wants me to play this at her funeral, and she's very much alive and hopefully not going to die anytime soon. But this is a song I did not write. I wish terribly that I had, but this is a song Warren Zevon wrote. So, and I also recorded it on my Strong Medicine CD with Dave Chappell playing some beautiful guitar. Shadows are falling and I'm running out of breath. So keep me in your heart for a while. If I leave you, it doesn't mean I love you any less. So keep me in your heart for a while. When you get up in the morning and you see that crazy sun, keep me in your heart for a while. There's a train leaving nightly cold when all is said and done, so keep me in your heart for a while. Sha-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-lo. Keep me in your heart for a while. Sha-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-lo. Keep me in your heart for a while. Thank you, Kate. Sometimes when you're doing simple things around the house, maybe you'll think of me and smile. You know I'm tied to you just like the buttons on your blouse. So keep me in your heart for a while. Hold me in your thoughts, take me to your dreams, touch me as I fall into view. And when the winters come, keep the fires lit, and I will be right next to you. The engine driver's headed north to Pleasant Streams. Keep me in your heart for a while. Yeah, these wheels keep on turning, but they're running out of steam. So keep me in your heart for a while. Sha-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la. Keep me in your heart for a while.
Yep. Yep. Did he, was that the last song he wrote? Was this the one that
That
he
was the
wrote
last song he wrote.
on,
his
like,
home.
literally? Yeah.
Couldn't even like get out of bed to record it. He just recorded it on a small little tape recorder.
Yeah. Huh, man.
Beautiful song.
Yeah. Phew. Yeah. Huh.
Hi, Michael.
Hey, hi, Michael.
Thank you, Carrie.
Whew. Whew. Okay. Well, this is the song you and I talked about. The one you're going to do now, Last Call.
Oh, we're gonna do it right now? There's no like break or something?
No, because it doesn't, the reason that doesn't work.
I think that first Dave's going to say something wonderful about Institute of Musical Traditions, isn't he?
I said I thought he was gonna say something
Just a little,
too.
just a little, just a touch.
Oh, all right. Institute of Musical Traditions.
A tune.
We started it in 1981, and of course we've never had a year like this one, but we wanted to do something to keep going. So if you look not in the crawler, well, actually it's on the crawler, above and below me, either way, go up, go down. You can, if you feel like donating to imtfolk.org, please do. If you're thinking, well, should I go to the artists or should I give it to IMT? Go to the artists. Okay, we're doing fine, and this is really to keep us out there and keep us doing something musically and letting people know that we're going to help them get through this stuff. But it's primarily for the artists. So that's my plug. That's it. Give money to us only as a second thought, or if you got a little extra, or you're doing well and you want to spread it a little bit. It's great.
Patty, did that give you just the right amount of time to tune?
That was perfect, Rob.
Bam.
All right.
Good job,
All right.
Dave.
We're professionals here. All right. So this song, I think you had a great explanation as to why I didn't fully understand this song. And because we're good friends, I not only accept it, but I want you to tell the story to the world out there.
Oh my gosh.
All right. So I thought Last Call could have been about at the end. It's an amazing song. It's very sensitive. That hit me. And I thought it was about in a bar where people weren't going to see each other for a while, or sort of like an Old Lang Syne, much better than some of the sappy country songs about last calls. So that's the way I thought about it. And then you straightened me out. So,
well, the hook is really Last Call for Love.
yes, but that's what I was hearing, the hook, because as you noted, I think you said something about the words, listening to, okay, hit him with it.
All right. Well, anyways, I wrote the song after playing at Walter Reed Army Hospital, and the families are there from all over the country for the soldiers who just couldn't make it to the show. I mean, they're in such horrible shape, and they stay there the whole time. And I was really just so moved and touched by the sacrifice of these families and their soldiers that they make. And we have a lot of people in our family who serve, and when people are deployed, that goodbye is so important because they don't know what's going to happen. They don't know if they're going to come back. They don't know how they're going to come back. Hopefully they come back okay, but you just don't know. So this song is about making a goodbye really count. And it could be an anthem for the bar at the end of the night, but it's about a lot more than that. Oh, yeah. Let's call for alcohol. Let's call for love. Last chance to say goodbye. kiss me, my sweet. Last chance to sway that girl to that smoky beat. Let's call for alcohol. Let's call for love. It's their last night before he's off to war. Yeah, he's seen these teardrops fall before. And he says, hey girl, I'm gonna be alright. When I come home, I'll love you every night. So right now, come with me here out on this dance floor. I'll hold you tight. It's last call for alcohol. Last call for love. Last chance to say goodbye. Kiss me, my sweet. Last chance to sway that girl to that smoky beat. Last call for alcohol. Last call for love. We get just one chance to go around this great big world. Yeah, you just don't know when it's your number coming up. It's time to pose to make your mark. This might be your last chance to give your heart. The best we leave behind is the love we give. So let it shine. It's last call for alcohol. Last call for love. Last chance to say goodbye. Kiss me, my sweet. Last chance to sway that girl to that smoky beat. Last call for alcohol. Last call for love. See you lock and load with a shot of whiskey. Batten down the hatches of this heart. 'Cause here comes the hardest part. Farewell, my love. Well, it's time to pour. Last call for alcohol. Last call for love. Last chance to say goodbye. Kiss me, my sweet. Last chance to sway that girl to that smoky beat. Last call for alcohol. Last call for love. Last call for alcohol. Last call for love.
Yeah. Yeah. Woo!
Thank you, Dave.
That's an anthem. You know, it's an anthem.
Yeah, people like that song a lot.
Yeah.
Makes me feel good.
Yeah.
It was written in gratitude for the sacrifice and service of all the military and all their family members that they have made.
Has anyone, like in a Nashville setting, covered it?
Not that I'm aware of.
I mean, you would be aware of it, I would hope.
Yeah, it's been in a movie. There's a movie called Last Call at Murray's, and it's in the opening credits of that. And let's see the movie it's in. But anyway, no one's covered it though. I would love if somebody covered it. I mean, that's the highest compliment to have somebody cover a tune.
Yeah. No, I mean, whew, I don't know. Somebody should shop it hard. It's never not going to be relevant as long as we engage in these conflicts. It's not going to be irrelevant. So, okay. All right.
Thank you, Dave and IMT
thank you.
for doing these concerts. And thank you for inviting me. Rob, good job. And it's an honor to play with Hubby and Cynthia. And thank you so much. Hey, Hubby.
All right.
Hey, Patty.
I brought my salted pistachios down to go with your almonds.
My smokehouse. Can we show
No,
these? Is this a commercial here?
Mine are roasted and salted pistachios.
Those are also very good.
They're excellent.
You guys are making me really hungry. I'm waiting to have dinner after this.
You can have the snack, Cynthia.
There is something really special about when we do these groupings like this, because you never know. I mean, 3 people that really didn't know each other at all, and
No.
we throw you in a big pot, and who knows? It's
Yeah, and it's so moving and so interesting to hear everybody's stories, and also like Hubby, you were talking, about this black instrument, and for me, like a thing that I talk about in concerts alike is that for years there were like no women in my whole business. And finally it's very, very different now. And in fact, the WOW band that David, that you mentioned, it's called the Women of the World Jazz Band. I decided, damn it, I want to work with some really great women. And I decided, and I started this band of all women. Partly, I just wanted to be able to work with women, and these are some top women in Europe. It was a Europe-based band, and we had different people going through it, and it was so amazing. And now times have changed. I remember when the Black Banjo Gathering happened, and I remember, I never saw a player of color ever, except for in New Orleans. Now, not true anymore. We actually do move forward. It's so wonderful.
Yeah, that's the exciting part.
Yeah.
Yeah. That is the exciting. As 2020 rolls along, we're all very glad to be moving.
Oh, yeah. Whew. All right. Where am I? Let's see. It's time for Hubby. Patty, thank you. Time for Hubby. I hear that we have an interloper somewhere.
Yeah, let him in. Open the door.
Here we go.
Hey.
So, ladies and gentlemen, couch sitters everywhere, this is Rowan Corbett, my longtime friend, co-producer of Rob's Open Mics, great musician. I don't know what else. Former House of Musical Traditions.
Yeah, I worked for you for 7 years or something like that.
Something like that.
Yeah. So,
computer designer, all kinds of stuff.
And bandmate of this guy here, Hubby Jenkins.
We spent a lot of time with each other.
Yep.
You saw me in the morning when I'm all grumpy, at night when I'm really grumpy because I'm tired, after a show where I'm kind of grumpy because I messed up that lick, or before the show because I'm all nervous and grumpy.
But that
Remember
10
those?
minutes when you're like killing it on stage and you're happy.
It's 10 minutes a day.
So what are we doing?
Rowan would call home every once in a while and say, Hubby was grumpy again today. It was sort of like he would just tick it off every night, and I was like, okay.
Yeah, that's right.
We'd mark it on the calendar, All right.
Grumpy banjo players, come on.
But yeah, I just wanted to see your face and I don't know. I was thinking about ending with a gospel song and playing a gospel song, upbeat, and one of the things that's been about coronavirus and shutting down or locking yourself down is how you connect with people and people you haven't talked to in years or months, whatever you reconnect with, and it's in a time of crisis. Our instinct is to get together or be together, and we can't. So it's through these means that we're able to do that, through a phone call, through a text, no matter how quick, how short, doesn't matter. Reach out to somebody, send them the love.
But no hugging, no kissing.
Electronic hug, textual hug. But anyway, Rowan's one of those people, like we don't see each other all the time, we don't talk to each other all the time, but when we do, it's good. And it's a reminder to send that to everybody. You know, send some love to somebody. It'll be fantastic. So.
All right.
Yeah. So I'll play this song. This is a gospel song. I learned it from a guy named Uncle Dave Macon, who worked and toiled with the Negro all my days, as he put it. But he sang this song, which he learned from an old Negro preacher. It's called "The Station Will Be Changed After a While." So when all our work is done, and all our toiling is done, don't worry, the station will be changed after a while. There are people in this world who will try to bring you down, but I'm on my way to glory for to wear that starry crown. No matter what they do or say, I'll be on my knees and pray that the station will change after a while. Oh, station will be changed after a while. When the Lord himself is come and my work on earth is done, oh, station will change after a while. Oh, that good book, it tells us all about that judgment day. Well, that awful day is coming, and I know just where I'll be. You can bury me in the ocean, or throw me in the sea, but the station will change after a while. Oh, station will be changed after a while. When the Lord himself has come, and my work on earth is done, oh, station will change after a while. Well, that gospel train is coming, she's a-rolling through the land. Jesus is the conductor, and he always makes us. When you hear the whistle blow, well, you better be ready to go. The station will change after a Thank you. Station will be changed after a while. Thanks for having me. Thanks for putting this together. It's nice to meet you,
Yeah.
wonderful musicians. And, yeah.
What a crew. All right. So to take us home, well, actually, a lot of people are home, I guess, to take us home in the old sense. Cynthia, you have the honor of leaving us with something to think about, something to ponder.
All right. Well, gee, I have to have a deep theme here. I'm going to finish with a tune which was a theme by the Guy Lombardo band, written by Guy Lombardo, and it's from 1945, and it was featured. I worked in the Woody Allen Band for about, a little over 10 years, and off and on with various, and some soundtrack things. And this tune was featured in his movie Annie Hall, and kind of revived it, and it just felt fitting for these times. Seems like old times having you to talk with, just like old times having you to walk with, and it's still a thrill just to have my arms around you. Still the thrill that it was the day I found you. Seems like old times, dinner dates and flowers, just like old times, staying up for hours, making dreams come true. Do all the things that we used to do. We'll do it soon. Seems like old times with you. Seems like old times, dinner dates and flowers, just like old times, staying up for hours, making dreams come true. Do all the things that we used to do. It's like old times being here with you. It's just like old times being here with you.
I think we're all looking for old times. Yeah, old times. We'd like to go back to some of those old times.
Well, we're gonna have them back, right?
Someday.
There's a lot of good news coming for 2021. We're all very hopeful, so we'll see.
The vaccine blues. I'm waiting for it.
That's right, Patty. We leave it in your hands.
Come on, Patty. Vaccine blues. All right, so actually, I'm going to ask each of you, obviously one at a time, things that I forgot to bring up or you forgot to mention during our show. So now's your chance to just like, oh yeah, I forgot to mention. So gigs you got coming up, or I don't know, baseball.
I'm getting married.
Okay.
Okay.
Send money, right? Okay.
Yeah, we can't pay for the wedding. No.
Right.
Well, right now we can't do it, so we'll have to wait. But
It's not a musician, though, is it?
no.
Okay. All right.
Thank God.
Thank goodness.
Because we do have to send money. All right, but seriously, is there anything you'd want to, Cynthia, mention that, I don't know?
Well, for anyone, I'm doing interactive solo Zoom concerts,
Right.
and I've been doing these for all kinds of institutions, and I haven't. So if this works for your church or your senior community or your school, I'm available. I do a lot of teaching. I also do a lot of private lesson teaching, and those two things are pretty much how I'm getting by during this pandemic, since of course all of our tours are canceled and our engagements are canceled. So I feel fortunate that I have those. So if those are of interest, give me a holler, message me, text me.
Okay. All right. Hubby, what do you got?
I don't know. I guess I mentioned my choose your own. I also do like clawhammer banjo lessons and guitar lessons. Those have been paying the phone bill and the internet, et cetera, et cetera.
Okay.
I don't know. I think other than that, that's all I've got going on. I've been riding my bike until the snow messes that up. I roller
Right.
skate, so look for me roller skating and playing the banjo in my living room at some point on the internet. I'm sure I'll go big once it happens, so you'll
Oh,
probably
yeah.
see me
Yeah.
everywhere.
It'll
so.
start a fad. It'll start a fad. All right. And
Thank
Patty?
you, David.
Yeah, I too have been doing interactive performance videos for institutions and retirement centers and all kinds of different things across the country. So if you or somebody who wants somebody, I do a nice little hour thing, and also, as far as I know, the Chesapeake Bay Blues Festival in May is still on with Guy That's rescheduled from last year.
Sure.
Yeah.
So
Everything's
that's
rescheduled.
right at the cusp of when they're going to start.
Yes.
You
I have
know,
a I have a tour in Europe that's supposed to start in mid-May, and we're like,
Right. You know, I hear June, July, everyone's strong.
yeah, so who
May,
knows?
Come on. So,
Yeah, we'll see.
So anyway, and I have that, and Daryl Davis's Thanks for the Memory Show, where we salute all the great artists that passed away in 2019 at the Birchmere coming up in February. So.
Yeah. Okay.
You guys, we need you guys out there. Wear your masks. Stay healthy. You guys give so much. It was such a pleasure to hear you both. Oh wow, you're just awesome. I mean,
ditto.
this is a different
Yeah.
musical world for me. So Patty, I was like melting. Oh my God, you're
right
you're
up the street
fabulous.
from me.
And hubby, you know, I mean, it was just great. So I just had to insert that.
I was singing along. I was like, oh, I wish Robin had muted us so we could do the response.
You don't even want to see what that does. That's terrible. That's a terrible idea.
The timing's off. Yeah, I guess so.
Well, everyone,
All
thank you
right,
so much
that's it.
to the world for tuning in. Institute of Musical Traditions, we generally do this on first and third Tuesdays. We'll probably be going back to that schedule in December. So, Dave, book some shows.
I'll work
book
on
some
it.
artists. And
By the way, I know there's some people tuning into this show who are first responders and protecting homeland and that. We want to thank you for tuning in tonight, especially at the National Operations Center. Thank you so much, guys. And
thanks
Yeah.
for shouting that out. So, everyone, stay safe. Please do.
Please wear your masks. Please, please,
Please wear
please.
your
It's
masks.
not over. It's not over. Please
We
wear
can't
your
have
masks.
nice things until we all do the
Yes.
right things. So, we'll work on that together. Ladies and
All
gentlemen,
right.
thank you so much for being part of an amazing show. Dave,
Yay.
you want to say goodnight?
Good night, everybody. See you down the road.
Bye.
Bye.
All right, thanks again. It's great meeting you, Hubby and Cynthia.
Ditto.
Likewise.
To see you somewhere.
Likewise. I hope.
Yeah, man.